Aloha and welcome back. I'm Panther and this is Control. Ooh. That's cool, but I prefer more health. Fine. Okay. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in service for his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Yours sincerely, Howard James Murray, Department and Chief of Communications, Federal Bureau of Control. And you can kind of gather by all this stuff in the last episode what time frame this is supposed to take place. Like the 1950s, somewhere around there. But no. Like 1980s-ish? Technological limitations of the oldest house. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any signal. Radio waves are only transmittable signals in the oldest house. Even those are often unreliable. If power of connective unconscious is taken into account, it could be certain that several pieces of technology are too new in the cultural for the oldest house to them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving too fast a pace for them to occur. Modern technologies tend to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Refer to File 4, 1935 for a full report. Okay, that pretty much tells you that I was wrong. The time frame for this is ambiguous as shit. Now there is something I've been wanting to see. Yep. Watch your hand. The gun. Boop. Collective unconscious. Collective unconscious is defined as a form of the unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us through the ancestral heritage. See Zhong Report, page 12-34. Through this collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. Its internal belief in power of images shared by a massive population is in the creation of altered items and powers of objects of power. The sheer amount of exuded in attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with a massive amount. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by a simple power of sustained collective belief. There's tons of stuff to look through. Did I? Oh, here. Huh. Okay, no music. Para-utilitary. Objects of power are unique in their capability to grant a certain individual's paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The policy of these potency of these abilities depend on the utilitarian. Using object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians have thrown a distance, while others are only capable of as little as. See Dr. Darling, presentation 11.15 for more information. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some exists within the body, and that like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to Northmore's records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians in the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. Alright, that way. Or not. No. Boardroom. That's where I need to go. Here. Okay. Wait, what? Is the boardroom up there? Ah, no, it's right here.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
Emily, let's talk.
There. Initial encounters with entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss are able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA devices that Dr. Darling have distributed over the past weeks are not affected by this corruption. The only known exception is the fact that the new director, Jesse Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so crass that the other Hiss have dismissed that I have dismissed the theory. The final observation comes from Miss Faden herself. She is able to cleanse material and organisms of the Hiss corruption. We have tested this ability on a Hiss corrupted entity. Unfortunately, the process seems to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiological becomes related on the Hiss? Oh, perhaps the host physiology becomes reliant on the Hiss? More work to do.
Of course.
Okay.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the Hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
Booyah. Upgrade and unlock new abilities from the nearest control point. We'll do that in a second.
Hi, Jesse.
Dun 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 dun.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know. Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
Singing? Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
This attacked the power plant. Brings up a lot of new questions. Are you communicating? Coordinating?
Okay. So there are currently 4 categories in which I can put these points into. And if I remember correctly, they go up in how much points it costs as you go through. And as you put in points, it unlocks things. So, increase launch damage, increase melee damage, and they give you the ability to look down the list. But launch has some interesting things. If you get to the second one, 50% damage, and it unlocks a second tree. Launch grenades and rockets back at the enemy. Launch basic enemies when their health is low. Launch large enemies when their health is low. Launch large objects. Hold and launch up to 3 objects. Energy now recovers while holding. This one is really powerful. More energy. But as you can see, it's unlike this. So, not unlike this. 25, then an additional 50, then an additional 50, then an additional 50, then an additional 75, then an additional 75. 10, 30, 30, 30, 50, 50. 10, 20, 20, 20, 30, 15. But as you can see, the last one only costs 2. Health, 10, 20, 20, 20, 30, 15. I have 4 points I want to put into health and this. And now I have an additional weapon form slot. It takes a lot of essence to reset the abilities, but I'm not caring too much about that. I don't have much need for melee. It will take 2 points to get the next one, so that will be my next thing.
What about the planet?
Astral constructs, weapon forms. So I can get the scatter when I get a little more of that. Mods. These are sort of super random. I don't like going down those
power plant is largely confidential.
board countermeasures. These are sort of like little side quests. Easy. I don't have Pierce. I don't have Charge. I don't have Surge.
No use guessing the hiss's mouth.
Outfits. I only have the civilian.
Is if we don't even know what kind of energy.
It has to
Okay.
be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create it.
I might have goofed and threw away the only quest that I have available. This one? That one. Grip. So grip is the only one I currently have. But now I have a second slot. So when I get another gun modification, I can do that. They use the same energy, though. So, yeah. Hotline. Board countermeasures. You have to read this. Very important. Come to think of it,
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation.
board countermeasures. I don't have spin. That one's fine. I don't have scatter yet, but it is close. I don't have siege mode. That one I can do. I don't have charge mode. I don't have spin. I have launch. And that's right. I can only select 3 countermeasures at the same time. Alright. Where do I go? Right. The elevator.
Time to work. Meet me in the maintenance.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
Did you see that? He doesn't have a Sony Walkman. He has a Pony Walkman. Oh, Melee has increased effectiveness against enemy armor. It's good to know. Though likely will get you killed. Because getting that close is often death.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain. If I can find Ahti here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti. It felt like he made the elevator appear that took me to Trench's office. Is Ahti guiding me too?
Here's the real question. And this question will become much more relevant later. Is Ahti the only one who's been guiding her? I will not elaborate on that. You will have to wait.
The directorial override is right there, in the control room. How do we get there?
That is a lot of dudes. Knock knock. Most of the time, Melee gets you killed. Ooh. Meh. Oh. Okay, that's the only way I can That I need to be very careful of. So this I will eventually do. But right now, if I go in there, it's death. On the bright side, it's also death from the hiss. Right now, though. See that? Ooh, threshold remnant. That's rare. Ooh. Launch efficiency. I haven't gotten to an exclusive sector yet. Oh, launch is a weapon, not my power. I'm stupid. Next control point, I'll fix that.
What's down that way?
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ahti here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ahti. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah. You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, that this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the panther around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps
Yep.
and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
Oh. Here we go.
Yep. Burn the trash. Throw it in the fire. Burn it all. Burn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
Okay. I will catch you all in the next episode. Until then, have fun, be safe, and aloha.